The 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, historically speaking, received an effort from the 2003 and 2007 National Assembly, who were desirous of having an outright rewriting of the entire Constitution, but that did not pull through, that failed. And on the basis of that, successive assemblies from 2011 and 2015 decided to handle the alteration in piecemeal, and but rather in an incremental pattern. So that saw to the alteration, the first alteration, second alteration, third alteration, fourth alteration being perfectly done and enacted into law. Where we are at the moment and what we are doing currently is a reflection of legislative response to the numerous agitation from the people of Nigeria who believe that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as it is no longer curing the gaps in the in the society. So contemporary issues are no longer being addressed by the provisions of this Constitution. So the weakness of the provisions of this Constitution to address these contemporary issues called for the public to seek for an amendment of the Constitution. And as a parliament that listens to the people, the people's parliament, we decided to align ourselves with the desires of those who have elected us to be here. And we did that by adopting a time-tested participatory model of engagement in constitutional review, and that saw to the receiving of written submissions from stakeholders, that saw to town hall meetings that took place in all the 6 geopolitical zones, and at least 2 in every geopolitical zone. So we're talking about 12 centers of the Federal Republic receive, an audience, those who wanted their voice to be heard. And beyond that, there was an engagement with the various houses of assembly across the nation. So at the end of the day, the committee was able to come out with about 66 bills that was presented to the National Assembly for consideration. At the point of consideration of this report, the 66 bills did not pull through. Only 44 pulled through, and which is actually a high number. 44 of those bills pulled through. And many will ask, what are these 44 bills all about, and what is this seeking to achieve? These 44 bills looking at how to strengthen the authority of the legislative arm as an instrument, as a tool towards effective and efficient checks and balances in the country. This bill seeks to look at how to increase the issues of good governance in the country, administration of justice in the country, and also advancing our participatory democracy, amongst others. And then if you break the bills down furthermore, you will see that among these 44, you will see issues like local government autonomy. That has been an issue for quite some time, and this autonomy is divided into 2. the autonomy as in financial autonomy, and also the autonomy as in administrative autonomy. Many people don't know that the local government has not really been recognized as a tier in the constitution. So this amendment will incorporate the local government there. Also the era of joint account between the local government and state, where accountability of the local government is shifted to the state, is now going to be cured by this autonomy that is be financial, as well as that will be administrative. The next one that you see among the bill is issue of quorum. You know, there has been an issue on the quorum of members elect, you know, for them to have their first section. There's been a dispute around that, but this amendment will now cure it both for the state houses of assembly as well as the National Assembly. You'll be looking at also the issue of fair hearing granted to judicial officers, you know, before dismissing them. Before now, it was not so. The rule of ora partem in law, let both parties be heard, unfortunately was not benefited by the judicial officers, and we said no, we have to balance it. Those who are affected by issues like this in the judicial system should be given a fair hearing. You will see a very interesting aspect also, that a bill, or a couple of bills, I think it's bill number 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Some of these bills covers issues that borders on devolution of power. And many people are wondering, what is this devolution of power? It borders on the spirit of restructuring and the issue of list, what we call the executive list and the exclusive list and the concurrent list. A lot of things are pushed to the federal government in the exclusive list, which is to the exclusive reserve of the federal government, without the participation of the state. But with this particular devolution of power element of the constitutional amendment, you will see issues like railways now having moving to concurrent list. You see issues like airports, you know, moving into concurrent list. You see issues like prisons, which was actually my bill. Actually, I sponsored that bill, that prisons should leave exclusive list to the concurrent list. All right, so that smaller offenses, state offenses, be tried in the state, court, and go to the state prisons and all that. So you see some of these issues like fingerprints, a criminal record. I mean, it should be in the federal and also be in the state. So that is a very good step that we took in this issue of devolution of power. You also see that the Revenue Mobilization and Allocation Agency of Government has now been given the power to implement, remittances to order. Before they were weak on that. Now they can effectively ask for these remittances to Federation account. You also see the issue of time for the announcement of nominees of the president, as with regards to ministers, and nominees of the state governor with regards to commissioners. Before now, it was the whims and caprices of the executive officers, either the president or the state governor, to decide when he wants to do that, and that is not healthy for planning our government, in good government, and all the rest of them. It couldn't have been an exercise in futility. It's not an exercise in futility. We've gone far. We're only looking for 8 states at the moment. We have gotten 16. And I must commend the committee under the leadership of the Deputy Speaker of the House, who is the chairman of the committee in the House of Representatives. They have worked night and day. The resources allocated to them has been well employed. The civil society participation, we appreciate that, but they cannot stop now. I'm surprised that most of those people who are out there as influencers are not calling out the states who have not appended their signature to this amendment that is healthy for our national growth. I'm surprised that the civil societies have suddenly gone quiet. It goes beyond pushing for this bill to pass through the National Assembly. You have a job to do. Let's see you work. Or I don't want to call out the civil society organizations. While you take up other functions, while you are buried now in the issue of election that is forthcoming, this nation need to move to the next level, and it is the Constitution that will help the nation move to the next level. If you're interested in development of our nation as a development agency, as a civil society organization, now is the time to put your pressure on the governors and the houses of assembly that have not done their part.